Crusader.
White gladiator has that big trident spear
fires flame during dessert.
Look, the judges are not. Even the Egyptian judge is impressed.
Until recently, you claimed that the Earth revolved around the sun.
Welcome to History Bites. I'm Rick Green. In the 11 and 1200s, various European crusaders went to the Middle East to battle the Muslims. Now, the Muslims worshiped the same God that the Christians did and were big fans of Moses, Abraham, and Jesus. So it's only natural that the Crusaders would hate them, right? There was one man the Crusaders respected and admired, the Muslim leader Saladin Yusuf ibn Ayyub, to the Crusaders, Saladin. This Sultan of Syria repeatedly fought against the Crusaders while holding together a shaky coalition of scheming allies. When the Christians attacked the Muslim alliance at the city of Acre, a small boy became a symbol of how both sides viewed each other and war itself. Now, Middle East conflict is a regular feature on the nightly news, so if television had been around in 1190, Saladin would have been more than a storied leader. He would have been the lead story.
He has been called many things. To Crusaders, he is a scourge and a noble enemy. To his people, the Arabs, he is a great reader. Recently, I spoke with Saladin at his palace in Damascus. Sir, you've been called many things. Salah el-Din, our Yusuf, Ibn Ahmed, Ibn Gurvan. Does that kind of name-calling upset you?
No, Barbara. That's my name.
All of it? Oh, my. Yusuf. Is that like our Joseph?
Yes,
May I call you Joseph?
if you wish.
May I call you Joey or Jojo? The English say that you are so honorable, you must have had an English tutor. The Spaniards say you are so good, your father must have been a Spaniard. For the record, which is it?
None of the above.
And yet the Franks say you behave like a French noble.
Not really. I would never swear peace on the Bible and in the name of God and then break my promise, like the Franks keep doing.
Well, yes, they have done that.
This is CBS. Tonight, the struggle for Crusader boy Ernie Gonzalez heats up as his mother demands the boy's return. Meanwhile, the coalition struggle against the infidel invaders at Acre enters its 9th month. And on our special report, Barbarossa, a holy terror, enters the Holy War.
Good evening. I'll take it as it is in Damascus. He has become a symbol of honor, a pawn in the battle for Middle East supremacy. 9-year-old Ernie Gonzalez, captured by our coalition forces at the siege of Acre, and now his mother wants him back. Aladdin Sane reports on the littlest hostage.
They have come here on a jihad, or as they call it, a holy war. Many cannot read or write. Most are eager for land, loot, and lust. They kill not only Muslims, but also Jews, and even Christians of other sects. And now, at Acre, these barbarians from Europe are crying foul.
They've taken my little Ernie. They came in at night while we were napping and kidnapped my kid. I miss him so much. I want my boy back. Please give me my boy back. He's our only son. Without him, we could lose the family fortune.
Very, very hard on my wife and on me, too.
Then why aren't you with your wife to support her?
Well, with stress like this, I feel that my place is at the front with the prostitute.
The prostitutes?
Yeah, why not? Now and then, huh? Well, we brought over 300 women with us, good Christian women, keep morale high, keep the wife from getting pregnant on the road. And unlike you Arab, we marry only one woman, one wife. That is what we call honor, my friend. Honor and offer, huh?
Salah el-Din's coalition of forces is about as loose as an incontinent camel on an all-fig diet. Yeah, every word paints a picture, baby. So, Salah al-Din is stuck between a rock and a hard place, huh? The Christians are saying they want the kid back, and let's face it, at the rate people are dying at Acre, just from disease, let alone swords and arrows and pots of boiling oil, what's one Christian slave, more or less, right? Yeah, the real issue here is the looting. Now, I don't want to get off on a rant here, but this siege of Acre is about more than just a few acres of Acre. This kid is a Templar in a teapot. And those knights in white satin who say they care about the boy are the same guys who have flattened and murdered Muslims, Jews, and a few thousand Christians. So, King Richard and King Philip, if you are listening, your big chivalry act is just that, an act.
Ernie Gonzalez. I'm joined now by Callie Amas. Callie is a child-rearing expert and one of the wives of the Emir of Jaffa.
Good evening, Ted.
Do you think little Ernie Gonzalez will be scarred by his experience?
That's really an interesting question. Will a boy who's been taken from his home in Europe, hauled 1,000 miles by mule train and ship across hill and dale to a strange desert land to watch his family engage in conquering, looting, pillaging, massacring? How many Arab prisoners did they massacre in one day? 5,000. So will a boy who's seen all this be affected by being taken from his parents, the same parents who exposed him to danger, hunger, thirst, and disease? I hope so.
Crusaders fought with zealous brutality. Kill everyone, take no prisoners. Arab armies tended to be more practical. If they were going to fight anyway, they might as well get some land, property, and power out of it. So while Crusaders chopped up anyone who thought different, Saladin's armies preferred to barter the least blood for the most booty.
Emir, can Salah al-Din simply order the boy returned?
I don't think so. Salah al-Din's armies fight more for loot than land. Slaves, gold, camels. My men follow me because I deliver the goods. I follow Salah because he delivers the victories. You start making men give stuff back, it's dangerous.
The men who have Ernie say that they stole the boy fair and square. First of all, what is this woman doing in the middle of a war zone? And bringing kids into a war zone. These, what are they called, infidels?
Christian.
Right. You know, they've got women and children over there, and hundreds of loose women. No shame. None! You know, these women are so loose, some of my men are sneaking over there at night. Disgusting. This is a war zone, not a whore zone.
And they take my boy and they sell him in the slave market, like a piece of meat or a commoner. Is that the way to treat a prisoner, huh? That's the way you Arab treat the prisoner.
And how do you treat prisoners?
We kill them. A retribution for them not loving Jesus.
Actually, the Arabs revere Jesus.
What? No.
Yes. In fact, Jesus' mother Mary is the only woman mentioned by name in the Quran.
The what?
Ernie Gonzalez. To ordinary Arabs here in Baalbek, it's clear Ernie should stay where he is.
Now, he was just a serf in Europe. Look at all the things he'll enjoy here. Safe cities, good medicine, fine food, nice clothes, and a decent education. Yeah, life is pretty good for a slave.
Give the kid back to the invaders. What are you, joking me? Don't be a putz. Let me tell you, their leader, Richard the Lionhearted, at his coronation, he had 500 Jews killed. I guess he wanted to quell any rumors he was Richard the Zionhearted. Ernie, if you're listening, don't you go back. You stick with Saladin. He's good for my people, and he'll be good for you too. But how can the European invaders force the Arabs to return the boy? We are already at war. What more can they threaten us with? The answer may be more atrocities.
Coming up, the Crusaders turn to the one man they can trust, their enemy, Saladin. Saladin was not born into Arabic royalty. His family were Kurds, outsiders, who had used their wits and their skill to rise up through the ranks. Saladin was clever, curious, and a natural leader, a combination of his dad, the consummate backroom politician, and his uncle Shirkuh, the impetuous warrior. Saladin would need all of his political skill to hold together his coalition. As he himself lamented, it was every emir for himself.
I have never gone back on my word with the Crusaders. They do it all the time with me. They say, I swear. I double swear on my mother's grave. I swear, Superman says, stamp it, lock it, keep it, no touchbacks. And then they break their words.
Why should our readers keep their promises to you? After all, you're an infidel and not to be trusted, whereas we follow the one true God.
The Father, Son, and Holy Ghost.
Well, if you feel you've been done wrong, why don't you take legal action? Ask for a fair trial.
Oh yeah, I know about your fair trials. Trial by fire. Walk on hot coals and see if you blister. I'm afraid I don't understand your Christian legal system.
If you're guilty, God makes you blister. If not, God gives you a way of holy protection, like a suntan lotion with a rating of 2,000.
Interesting. We have lawyers, legal system laws. Islam is really a set of laws where all men are equal. I am treated just like the lowliest man is treated.
Under our more civilized legal system, nobles receive much better treatment. Nothing but the best for the best.
Well, the Arabs who are holding him as a slave say returning the boy to the Crusader camp would doom the child to life in a backwards, oppressive society. Joining me now from Cairo is scholar Abbas Dabas Du. You are an expert on Europeans. You've traveled to Europe, lived amongst them. Who are these Crusaders?
Well, Ted, their feudal system with serfs, knights, barons, and kings is much like our system with warriors, emirs, caliphs. They also believe in slavery. They are ruled by whoever is the strongest. They view women as second-class citizens who must be controlled.
Goodness, with so much in common, why can't we get along?
Because the Europeans are still a very backwards people. Their wizards and alchemists are centuries behind us in science, astronomy, astrology, and they are barbaric.
Callie in Cairo, what are your thoughts?
Ted, I agree. This is a tricky situation. There's a lot involved here. What he does sends a message to our forces and to the Crusaders. It's a tightrope.
Abbas, is Salah el-Din up to walking a tightrope?
By all means. After all, he's a Kurd, and you know how touchy and proud they are. Yet, he's managed to become a leader of Persians, Syrians, Egyptians, and done it all through brains, not brawn.
Oh, what about the siege at Cairo? How many Nubians did he massacre?
I'm not saying he hasn't killed people. Just that when he makes an allegiance, he sticks to it. Unlike the Crusaders, or almost all his allies.
The siege at Acre was hard on both sides. The Crusaders were fighting in unfamiliar surroundings, and Saladin's armies found themselves pinned down, unable to use their rapid strike methods. But despite the difficulties, both sides were equally convinced they would win. They had to win, because they both had right on their side.
Tonight, they have invaded our land, taken our cities, and overrun our holy sites. Who are these Christians? And from their desert fortress, they are the military elite, a few good men, the assassins. But now, some shocking allegations.
Some of the new recruits, they didn't use hashish. Or they did, but they didn't inhale. That affects performance.
But first, behind the cult of Christendom. Their beliefs are steeped in blood, heads on platters, sacrifices, and stigmatas. Humans turn to salt. Their followers say they worship the Prince of Peace. Then they murder their religious leaders. So, who are they?
The Christians revere the same Jesus as we Muslims do. They revere Moses as we do, and the Jews do. But whereas you or I would read our Quran for understanding, they rarely read the Bible. They've created this thing, this whole hierarchy called the priesthood. Then they've written the Bible in a language only the priests can read, Latin. The Bibles are kept locked up under keys. Then there's the confession. Whereas you or I would pray directly to God, these priests have created a system where you have to go through them.
Our Pope is as human as anyone. He has his hobbies. He enjoys good food and wine. He has his mistresses. So I don't see him as a fanatic at all. He's quite flexible about doctrine. Don't believe all the propaganda you hear about Christians. We have some fine leaders.
Frederick I. Let's talk about him. Barbarossa.
Yes, Redbeard.
For example, that at the siege of the city of Crema in Italy, stories of Barbarossa tying women and children to siege machines, hurling them against walls, using live human beings as ammunition.
Okay, I know it sounds bad, but Frederick didn't start that. He had to get medieval on his enemies in Crema because they were taking prisoners, Frederick's men, to the top of the city walls where Frederick could see them and tearing these poor prisoners limb from limb, limb from limb. Now, what kind of people do that?
Christians. Weren't the Cremans Christians?
Well, yes. You know, not all of our leaders are monsters like Barbarossa.
Let's talk about Richard the Lion-Hearted.
Okay, I'd rather not. No.
The hottest new video, Barbarossa's Rock'em Sock'em Atrocities. No sissy jousting, no chivalry, no rules, just all-out mayhem. Order now and we'll also send you Barbarossa's wildest massacres and Nobody Walked Away. Bone-crunching, muscle-cutting, neck-slicing action. Infidels and heretics going down for the count, 'cause no guts, no glory.
The parents of the boy have, at this hour, agreed to cross over the battle lines and state their case directly to the man who can return their son, the man in charge, Saladin. Our own Aladdin Sane is live at the scene.
I'm here in no man's land with the parents of little Ernie Gonzalez as they make their way into our army's encampment. I'm trying to get in a bit closer. Sir Reginald, Lady Agatha, where are you going?
We're going to make our case to your leader, Saladin.
You mean Salah el-Din?
That's what I said, Saladin. We've been advised by our leaders that he is a man of honor, which I don't believe, but we're going to ask him to order his men to give us back our son.
But what if they aren't his men?
What they're all Arabs, are they not Arabs? They're Arabs.
The Arab forces are a coalition led by Salah el-Din, but the men are also loyal to their particular emir.
No, but I have been told that this Saladin is a very honorable man. Apparently his father was French.
No, he was as Arab as the Caliph.
And someone else told me that his mother was educated in England, so...
No, she's lived here.
Well, whatever. I'm sure if he's an honorable man, I'm sure he's got the good Christian blood running in his vein, and if he's not an honorable man, then he will have blood on his hand. Eh? Probably mine.
When we return, Saladin saves the day and the boy. Back in 1178, war was a very dirty business. I know sword fighting sounds glamorous, but imagine sticking your head in, say, a lawnmower. It hurts. There was no Geneva Convention, no trials for war crimes. Prisoners were routinely killed, or if they were unlucky, tortured, then killed. Yeah, the Crusaders were ready to fight dirty. Of course, some of the Crusaders were dirty fighters even before they left home.
Ernie Gonzalez. But deciding the fate of one child may be child's play compared to the challenge that may soon face our forces. King Frederick I is on his way to reinforce the Crusaders, bringing thousands of men and a terrifying reputation. Here's a special report on Barbarossa, demon or devil.
Barbarossa?
Yeah, the Frederick I, Barbarossa.
I think I ate at the Barbarossa one time. I had a steak there.
No, that's his
Redbeard,
name.
you say?
Yeah, Redbeard.
Oh,
that's
Redbeard.
That's his name.
So anyway, folks, here we go. From the home office in Oporto, Portugal, the top 10 personal mottos of Redbeard Frederick I. Here we go. Number 10, massacre. I'll show you massacre. Number 9, you've got guts, kid, and I want to see them. Number 8, I was only following orders from God. Number 7, early to dead, early to dies, makes a king healthy, wealthy, and wise. Number 6, hey, if I didn't kill everyone, someone else would.
It's a thought that causes many Arab leaders to shudder.
And number 2, sorry, I get like this when I'm drinking. The number 1 motto of Frederick I, hey, I need something to tint my beard red. There you go.
All right, let's see what's in the news. Everyone trembled before the herald of Siegfried and Roy. Ironically, Barbarossa's last words were, hey, now that it's me dying, it doesn't seem so funny. When Sir Lancelot asked whether it was a Christian thing to massacre people, the abbot whispered, shh, what God doesn't know can't hurt him.
Drag on for days, as both sides... I'm told we are going now. We're going to Saladin's tent, where he is about to speak to reporters and his followers. We're going now.
The boy shall be released. Any questions? Okay. It shall be done. Good day.
I would just like to say something, if I might. I would just like to thank Mr. Saladin.
Saladin.
Yeah. I was told that of all the filthy, scum-sucking, heretical unbelievers and heretics and blasphemers, he was the most honorable, and I would just like to say that this is true. And I just hope that when my husband captures or kills you, that your death will be fast and merciful. Thank you.
Of course, returning the boy didn't put an end to the Middle East conflict. The fighting continued between the Crusaders and the Arabs, and between the Crusaders and Crusaders, and between factions of Arabs. The leaders schemed, the soldiers fought, the civilians suffered the collateral damage. Even after the Crusaders had won this battle and taken Acre, they couldn't get control of Jerusalem from the Arabs. Saladin brought peace by allowing the Christians safe passage into Jerusalem. He believed that unless everyone was allowed access to the Holy City, there would always be conflict in the Middle East, proving Saladin was indeed wise, and history indeed bites.
Salah al-Din's forces were almost defeated at the Battle of Hittin when King Richard unleashed his tactical air force. Donald was very, very scared of snakes. King Frederick had only one brass ball. Lady Walthorpe was so afraid the Arabs would steal her baby, she kept him safely hidden in her hat. Yvette's job was to check all the Crusaders for saddle sores.